Hi, Jeremy. Well, just a short while ago, the discussion was underway wherein young people who are in the audience were given the opportunity to ask questions that affect them. One of the key questions that was raised by a young man from East London was that the problem that's leading to voter apathy among young people is that the people that political parties are forwarding as candidates who will represent them in parliament and legislatures, many of them are old. And if you consider, for instance, I'm just going to pick on Mangosuthu Buthelezi, who is the leader of the IFP. He is 90. He is still going back to parliament. The president of the republic is also at an he's an old man. However, we should also indicate people like Julius Malema, Musi Maimane, they are fairly young as leaders of their own organizations. Another concern was that the policies that government as well as other parties are coming up with, young people don't find expression in there. But another issue that was raised to the IEC was that the IEC seemingly tend to encourage young people to come out and vote in large numbers. Somebody saying that when you employ your presiding officers, people who will be working in these voting stations, you employ old people. You also employ people who are employed, teachers and nurses. So those are some of the issues that were raised in this seminar, Jeremy.
The IEC has surely got to concede, though, that it has a real problem. If you look at the raw numbers, and you'll correct my figures if I'm wrong, around 9 million eligible South Africans are not registered to vote. Of those, 6 million are young people. There's a problem there, isn't there?
Indeed. I mean, if you consider the fact, Jeremy, that 9 million South Africans, let's assume that they were going to vote for a single political party. Take the votes that went to the ANC in 2014, 11 million South Africans. So you can tell that anyone who would be able to get votes of those people who are not going to participate this year, clearly they will get a fair representation in parliament. Now, the IEC is saying that the number of people who are going to vote in this country is at around 26 million. Of course, they are losing out. I don't know whether it's the IEC or the political parties who are losing out on the 9 million South Africans who are not registered. Now, the question, therefore, is why are people, South Africans in general, not coming out to register to vote? A question was actually posed here earlier by Glenn Mashinini, who is the national chairperson of the IEC, asking, because some in this audience are leaders of youth structures of political parties. He said to them, are you, as leaders of these youth structures, really representing this many young people, 6 million out of 9 million people who are not registered to vote? Are you speaking to them? Your policies, are they addressing their issues? Clearly, the IEC said it is quite expensive. For instance, for a single weekend registration campaign, they spent approximately 250 million rand, and they hosted 2 similar weekend campaigns, meaning they spent just over 500 million rand.
All right, Moloko Moloto in Polokwane, thank you very much indeed. I do want to stay on the